This presentation is entitled Digital Understandings in the Construction of Knowledge, Report of Experiences in Contemporary Architectural Design Teaching. This work intends to demonstrate how analogical and digital design thinking techniques can improve and expand the range of creative methodologies in the context of an undergraduate architectural design studio. The approach presented builds on the improvement of a theoretical didactic model already applied during 3 periods of time since 2014, each aiming at different steps of the design process. The studio program regards the development of a landscape design hotel. Encouraging the use of different design tools, the studio aims to engage the students in all aspects of the design process. The Design Thinking Strategy, DTS, was implemented in 2012 and was characterized by the use of analog design thinking tools employed as instigators of the creative process during the conceptual, environmental, and programmatic formal stages. Although this strategy enhanced the creative formulation of the design concept within design thinking techniques, the material constructive strategy stage used digital tools mostly as a representational medium and within the boundaries of the Euclidean geometry, limiting the students' choices on exploring formal solutions of a certain complexity. Taking advantage of the implementation of parametric tools on the school's digital instrumentalization disciplines and aiming to solutions to the appointed problems, 2 digital strategies were planned and tested at different moments in the following years, in a complementary way to the analogic design thinking exercises. The parametric design thinking strategy, PDT, focused its efforts especially on some of the students' difficulties in developing, representing, and detailing the complex non-coplanar shapes during the development of the individual hosting unit designs. As the students were presented to Rhino Grasshopper algorithm individual programming lessons in the school's curriculum, the PDT strategy made use of these teachings, making them available to the design studio students. This included the development of a parametric model, the parametric reference unit, with low geometric complexity following an algorithmic modeling logic within the reasoning of the wood frame system. The modeling process of a parametric referential unit comprised of 4 stages, departing from 2 lofted profiles forming a volume, which were later sectioned generating lines to which wood studs were incorporated. Afterwards, the integration between the algorithmic modeling and the BIM platform created a link between geometric modeling, the attribution of constructed data, and the graphical representation in an A-BIM approach. At the end of the process, students were introduced to some of the potentials of algorithmic logic in order to obtain formal variations in a given project in a controlled manner, without the need to restart the modeling process. From the overall group, 1/3 of the students presented geometries that could benefit of this approach. The design process sequence employed during 2019 followed the 2 initial steps of the DTS strategy, where the conceptual environmental stage was responsible for analogic design thinking techniques used in groups to define the general hotel concept, and in the programmatic formal stage, individual form generation studies were explored through analogical and digital exercises in order to reach the unit's party. Afterwards, a technical constructive stage was created separately from the material constructive one in order to host an in-class exercise in which the BIM reference unit acted as a pedagogical instrument informing the students of the wood frame system. The BIM reference unit presented low formal complexity, aiming to exemplify regular technical wood frame solutions. The proposed methodology involved the virtual construction step by step of the unit following a logic similar to in-loco construction, from the foundations to the roof. The exercise was therefore divided into 3 stages: structure, wall enclosures, and openings. Between each stage, it was expected that the students could adapt the sequence into the assembly of their individual project in BIM technology. This methodology, although limiting the variety of formal solutions, aimed to bring the students closer to the construction site, inducing whatsoever the understanding of the construction of a real wood frame house. When comparing a sample of the individual results of the 3 different strategies, it is possible to observe a similarity on the overall formal solutions of the DTS and BS models. What differs them is the improvement on the construction accuracy, drawing coordination, and visualization on the BIM model. The PDT unit, on the other hand, opened up the possibility of breaking with the formal regularity still within a wood frame system, although requiring more time to solve the details and a better knowledge of the Grasshopper eCAADe connection for this level of study. In order to better explore the technologies and techniques employed, although the experiments concentrated on different aspects of the design process, they were conducted cumulatively, adding knowledge progressively. If the DTS approach has brought to the further experiments the use of conceptual analog techniques, The BEAM and PDT strategies have resulted in two different models that aim to improve through digital knowledge the formal and constructive aspects of the design process. However, in spite of the positive outcomes here demonstrated, there are still improvement aspects to consider. Thus, after taking into consideration all the aspects of the design thinking PDT and BEAM strategies, this research was presented with a question: how can a digitally informed design process help create a strategy that attends successfully a design concept within a referential formal identity, material language, and constructive constraints? In order to better address that question, this research is willing to propose a new strategy, the parametric morphological metric strategy. Structured in 5 different stages, this strategy foresees the repositioning of the BEAM reference unit before the formal design concept, working essentially within an informative character. Afterwards, in order to help assess the relationship of the concept versus form, an analogical design thinking tool, a morphological matrix, will be implemented, allowing a series of combinations of conceptual, geometric, and structural principles. Finally, the matrix will inform an algorithm reference model, defining the possibility of individual parametric variations, which will be later integrated to the BEAM system, allowing the students to connect all design aspects, constructive models, and documents sharing a limited number of variations. This last strategy is going to take place on the upcoming and probably virtual semester of 2021. Thank you.